So from my computer is overheating right now, so let's get on with the story. Once upon a time there was a pecan, and the pecan really wants a mom. It was so lonely and could not grow up by itself. He had to get food and everything. He could not get bananas, he couldn't get fish. But one time he tried to get it, but he remembered he could not swim. Till he saw another pecan and decided to try and chat to him. He came over and said, "What? Do you want me to teach you?" The pecan was so scared that he fainted. The pecan was so scared. So the pecan picked him up in his beak and tried to calm him down. He flew away with his in his beak. He didn't know where to go. I mean, they could go to the water, but that's not where they live, is where they get food. The pecan wants to live somewhere near water, so he decided to go over here where ponds are. Ponds are very special to pecans because they need somewhere to go. They made a nest, and even the pecan loved it. He loved this nest. Then one time the pecan went to get food and flew and he completely forgot that there was a pond nearby. So he did realize it a few days ago, but he went to get some food while the pecan wants to explore the world. So he went and explored the world. One time he saw a tree and tried to climb it. He tried to climb it and he ended up climbing it, but not to the top at least. I mean, at least he tried making it to the top, but it didn't work. He so wanted to climb a tree, but he never knew what could hold there, so he didn't know. One time he wanted to get food himself, so what he did was try to copy his mom thing. He tried to, but the pecan rushed over and said, "No, don't you try it. I'm the only one who's supposed to get food." So the pecan picked him up in his back and drew him back to the nest where you can't do it. The pecan decided to move since there was way too much ponds and there was no fish there. They started to know they had to go back to the beach. So they went back to the beach and they decided that they would do it by the sea, even though it's quite dangerous. But they decided to do it because it's the only way to get fish and food for them to eat. So they built a new nest. They built a new nest here. As you would have known, the peckish dropped him off. The pecan went to get food, but the pecan went too far in the ocean that we could not see. The pecan was hurt. He almost drowned. He almost drowned, but the baby saved him. The baby saw what was happening and rushed over and tried to save him by swimming and picking him up. The baby picked him up and brought him back to the nest, at least trying to. The pecan got to the nest, but the pecan was stuck. The pecan was so hurt. The pecan was so hurt that he couldn't even fly to get food. The pecan was so hurt. The baby was like, "Are you okay?" But it was not okay. After those years, the pecan took care of the pecan, and then the pecan grew up into a bigger one, and she could finally get food. So they brought food for He was so nice. He fed it to him because he couldn't feed it himself. So he gave it to him, and he was actually starving. So he grabbed it and said, "Thank you, I was starving." The pecan said, "It's okay." Pecan went in the nest and fell asleep. The pecan didn't know what to do. He was so hurt, and they couldn't pick him up, so they didn't know what to do. He decided to make a new nest since he was getting old, and he was starting to get better. So the pecan rushed off to make a new nest somewhere. The pecan found a cozy spot in the beach, and he decided to build a nest there because it was so nice there. Well, a few years later, the other pecan came to his home, and they hugged like crazy because the pecan thought he was dead. They hugged and hugged. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys. See you on the next one. Bye!